Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon White. So, in the last part, we did some training over the big stadium in Small Court, and we also found out who the mysterious N truly is. And now for this one, we're gonna go see what the Pokemon musical is like with Bianca here. And considering that we are going to be essentially going to go into a little bit of a tutorial thing as soon as we head inside, I'll essentially will be going over the details of what the Pokemon musical is about. So the Pokemon musical is essentially a modified version of the visual competition in the super contests that were in the Sinnoh games. Now, where you essentially have your Pokemon dress up in props. And then you get to see those Pokemon dance within those props. And also just like with the super contests, the musical is also split into several categories. First off, we have Stardom, which is in the cool category, and also the audience itself for that category is men. And then the second is Forest Stroll, which is the cute category, and that shows audience is girls. And then we have a Sweet Soiree, which is your elegant, elegant category. And that shows audience is women. And lastly we have the exciting Nimbasa, which is a quirky category. And that shows audience is boys. Now as you saw as well, when it comes to the dress up part, you essentially tap on the body part off the prop itself onto the Pokemon themselves. But however though, not all Pokemon have all of the body parts. So some of them may not be able to be dressed up using certain props. And also if you use too many of this now, each category of prop will appeal to a certain category of the audience member in the musical. And if you use too many of the same prop category, it has diminishing returns. So it is definitely better for you to utilize a balance of props. And also, the props used by the other participants will also be taken into account with the diminishing returns of props. And also, at the end of the dress-up, if the player is given a total score for how well the Pokemon's props appeal to the audience, which affects how quickly the player gains followers as they perform in more musicals. Yeah, the score is influenced by the props the player's Pokemon has, the props of all the participants, and the consumption of the audience. Yeah, it is definitely a lot more viable than what we actually say. It is definitely a lot more mandatory for you to utilize how many certain props that you can use. And then with the actual and then as for the musicals themselves, now now it isn't like how it isn't obviously the same as the super contests. Yeah, and sometimes the Pokemon themselves actually utilize their props, the props that you put on them as a part of their performances. And then, of course, they will get to review and then after the dancing, you will get reviewed of how well your performance went. And after every performance, you will actually receive a prop. You will actually receive more props, depending on how much well of a score that you got. So yeah, you could definitely say the musicals are definitely a lot more unique, and it's also why I'm not gonna bother with this. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother to show any of that off. But I will be showing off is what you're seeing here. Yeah, it is essentially the equivalent of what we saw with in the anime, where we have Bianca's father shows up in the boss city so that he could try to bring her back home again. But of course, Bianca wants to continue traveling on her journey. And of course, her father won't exactly won't allow it. Absolutely not. Ours do things their way, and we do things ours. Is that so? I guess. Then, how about you do things your way, and I'll do things mine? Oh boy. Sweetie, you keep going on your travels. And who said that? Yep, it's her. Hey now, who do you think you are? This is a family, and this is a family matter. My name is Elesa. I'm this town's gym leader. I also have to be a top model. There are many people in this world. There are people whose way of thinking may be completely different from yours. Sometimes this means you may get hurt. Of course, that's exactly right. It's because I'm worried about that. But it's more important to keep trying, to learn about the differences between yourself and others. To learn, and that being different is okay. And you shouldn't worry. Trainers always have Pokemon at their side. Well, yeah, that's pretty obvious enough. Pokemon are wonderful. It's not only how cute they can be, but also how much you can depend on them. Please! Yeah, she really is pleading. I know there's I know there's gonna be painful stuff like you're worried about. I know, really, I get it. But like, listen, there'll be tons of nice people too. No one else? Since I've been traveling with Pokemon, I've already gotten strong. I've already gotten tougher. I can totally tell. So, please. What would he say? I guess. If you want to continue, your journey, is selfish on your part. Wayne wanting to stop you is selfishness on mine. I'm surprised to find I'm the one being childish. At my age. This gym leader's comments helped me wake up. Bianca, I'm sure it's better that you take the path you want to take now. I hope that your journey will be fun. Bon voyage. Ditto, please. Take care of my little girl, okay? I'm pretty sure Bianca can handle just fine on her own. Papa! I'll come home after I find out what I really want to do! I'm sure he's a travel as a trainer himself. In the past. Being a parent must be hard. Did I meddle unnecessarily? You looked troubled, so I decided to chime in. By the way, if you're trainers, please stop by the Pokemon gym. I'll teach you a little something about how tough a journey can get. Yeah, I bet you will. She's so cool! Ha! I want to be a totally cool woman like Elesa. I wonder how I'll get there. Well, before that, I guess I need to discover what I really want to do. See you later, Ditto. Yep, and we'll definitely be seeing you later. But anyways, while we have met up with Elesa, which means now that we can, of course we can now battle her in the that we of course can now battle her in the Nimbasa gym. But however, I am not going to do that yet. Yeah, I want to get some more training in before we even think about taking on the Nimbasa gym. Yeah, and of course, the best way for me to do that, other than the big stadium and small court, which I already showed off within the last video. Now we are going to be heading ourselves into Route 16. Yeah, that's right. We essentially went from, routes 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're in 16. Which means that we are essentially traveling in the completely opposite direction of where we actually need to go. Yeah, if we want to be able to follow the actual route number. But however, as you can see, yeah, you can actually still go to Route 16. If you ever feel like, if you ever feel like your Pokemon are not strong enough to take on the Nimbasa gym. Now, I think the same also goes for Route 5 as well. But however, you will not be able to make it past those certain points before you before you take a, before you defeat, Elesa. Yeah, but anyways, now, as for Route 16 itself, this place, now, just like with Route 5, we're not gonna be able to go past this point either, because, there isn't, because there is this, elevator, but, however, it is not exactly working. However, it is not exactly working properly. So, we can't exactly, go past that, even if we really tried. But anyways, as you can see, now our Sandal and Tympole, and our Tympole have now reached level 25. Alright. And I think, after Tympole reaches that level, it's time, everybody. Our lovely Tympole is now going to evolve. And it is now... Palpitoad! Yep, our Tympole is now a... It is now a Palpitoad. Yeah, honestly, everybody, even though Palpitoad really doesn't look, all that good, but honestly, I just really love, from Palpitoad. And which is honestly a darn shame that even though Ash did catch one in the anime, but we didn't exactly really get to utilize it all that much. Yeah, we didn't really get to see much of Ash's Palpitoad. Yeah, the only times that we really did were during that first tournament arc. And then we have, for those of you who obviously recall, Ash's only strategy for defeating Elesa in the anime was his Palpitoad only. And then while he did utilize his Palpitoad in his gym battle against Roxy, but it didn't exactly last that long. And we also and then we practically only saw it for like the final time. Well, right up until the end of the Gen 5 series was when Ash battle against Stefan in the Unova League. So those were really the only times we really got to see Palpitoad do anything. After Ash caught it. But anyways, everyone, as you can see, now that Blizzard is now level 25, it is definitely going to be learning a really good move. That, of course, being Spark. Now Blitzo now it has an actual physical, now actually have a physical, like, electric type attack. Meaning that now that my Blitzo can really do some, now our Blitzo can actually really do some heavy damage now. So but anyway, now as for Route 16's encounters, the Pokemon that you can encounter here, within the regular grass, and also the darker grass, is where you can find where you can find Lightbirds. But you can also find a Trubbish and a Minchinos. And you can find Colossus in a Pokemon White, and you can find Gavitas in Pokemon Black. So yeah, of course, if you want to get both, then you may have to get both versions. Or unless if you want to have it, or of course if you want to actually make a trade. And then, as for the Pokemon that you can find in the rustling grass, now this of course where the place where you can still find your Autodos if you still feel like doing that. And then this route is our first location where you can obtain Minchino's evolution. Yeah, meaning that of course, which of course meaning that you can get that evolution before you can even thinking about getting yourself a Minchino. And also, you can actually get another Pokemon within the rustling grass, and that Pokemon being Emolga, which is essentially the Gen 5, which is essentially the Gen 5, which is essentially the Gen 5, Gen 5's Pikachu clone. So yeah. But anyways, as you can see, now while my pick 9 can learn Strength right now, but however, I don't think I'll be teaching my pick 9 Strength. I actually want Strength to be learned by another one of my team members, but that's just gonna have to wait until a little bit longer. Meaning that, yeah, we're gonna have to come back here later. Yeah, but anyways, anyway, always everyone now. Now, as for the Pokemon that you can find swarming here, is actually Inkos. So, if you just have to be lucky to actually have Pineco swarming, you just need to go here. And also, now he's where we finally get our very first appearance, our debut appearance of Drilbur. Now, Drilbur, while I didn't exactly consider using my own Drilbur, well, much earlier, but in the earlier generations, but however, Gen 8 definitely made me change my mind about Drilbur. Yeah, because I actually did get to utilize one within a Pokemon Sword and Shield. Well, actually, I only used Drilbur in Shield. But, however, the Drilbur that I got, it definitely came very, very handy. So, honestly, yeah, I really am glad that I actually get to utilize a Drilbur for ever. So honestly, yeah, that just makes me that just makes me appreciate Drilbur a lot more. Yeah, but anyways, everyone now. But anyway, always everyone now while we are trying our best to, of course, trying to find and catch the free Pokemon that I get with it in this grass. Aside from the Lightbird, since already have the Purrloin, and of course since I cannot get a Vita in this version, so yeah, the Colossus is the best choice I'm gonna get from that. Now, and I guess what I should also say about Palpitoad is that now, as you saw, during our battle against that Drilbur, our Palpitoad definitely has got a lot more defense on him. Yeah, which is definitely going to be very handy for when we face up against Nimbasa Gym. But anyways, now we got Colossus, the Cell Pokemon. Yeah, Colossus is definitely something that could be utilized for cells. But anyways, Excuse me. There, right now it's gonna cut down this tree so we can get another rare candy. Alright, now let's see which one of our teammates is going to get it this time. Okay, let's see. Okay, Blitzo, your experience is not too bad right now. Oh, okay, and then with a Palpitoad, it is definitely a lot more, okay, yeah, I don't think I'll be giving it to my Palpitoad. Now, Pig Knight, yeah, Pig Knight's coming in close to be able to get it. Although, Sandile just now has the lead now. And that essentially got us taken over by our friggin' pain station now. Jeez. And our Sigilif really doesn't need it right now. Yeah, and our Sigilif really doesn't need it right now, so yeah, I think it's pretty clear on which one is gonna get this rare candy. Yeah, that of course being our pain station. Alright, being level 26. And you only get +2 for HP and special attack. Yeah, and again, that special attack could be used for something later, but definitely not right now, considering that seed. But considering that seed bomb is a physical attack, so yeah, it doesn't exactly help me out. Okay, everyone. Now, at the very least, we also found ourselves a wild Machino here. Now, as for Machino itself, I don't think I've really considered utilizing my own Machino, like, anytime soon, or even anytime soon, really. Yeah, honestly, I just find Machino to just be alright in my book. Yeah, it's obviously not one of my top favorite ones. But I can't see why others may find it cute. Yeah. But anyways, now that's Machino gone. Machino, the chinchilla Pokemon. Yeah, Machino is definitely a chinchilla who definitely loves to keep things clean. Yeah. But anyways, now let's see how long it'll take for me to find my Trubbish. And oh wow, okay. This is certainly a very rare occurrence where I managed to find all of the Pokemon that I want to catch within a row. Yeah, this is certainly a very rare thing for me. Yeah, this doesn't always happen with me. Yeah, I always end up finding either like 1 or 2 Pokemon within a route, but definitely not new encounters. Definitely not new encounter after new encounter within a row. Like, jeez. But anyways, oh wow, okay, sure. Yeah, you're just gonna hit me 4 times with that double slam now, will you? But anyways, now let's see if we can get you. 2, 3, and there we go. Our garbage man Trubbish cuts. The Trubbish, the trash bag Pokemon. Yeah, the games themselves are literally calling Trubbish a trash bag, because that is essentially what Trubbish are. Yeah, but anyways. Now with that said, now let's just quickly go on back to the Pokemon Center so we get ourselves healed up. So then we can get ourselves prepared for the Nimbasa gym battle. Now, as for the musical as well, since I didn't exactly get to fully talk about essentially everything that there is to do or essentially everything that you can possibly get within the musical, I think I'll go over it while we are going through the Nimbasa gym. Considering that, since we are obviously going to be there for quite Yeah, since we are essentially not going to be there for quite a long while. Yeah, and especially if we're not utilizing Pokemon, say, if we're not utilizing our Sandile, or Blitzel, or even our Palpitoad. But as everyone that said, for the next part, we're going to be entering the Navasa Gym. And so to then, I'll see you guys next time!